we'll get started. It's a little bit after 6 now, I think. So could everybody share your name so I can write them down?
Marion Sorter.
Dawn Riddle.
Chad Wickline.
I'm sorry?
Chad Wickline.
Great.
Jerry Clark.
Chris?
Ingrid Barber.
Okay, Ingrid?
Lamona West.
Lamona.
Brittany Howard.
Jerry Clark.
Okay.
Patricia Spengler.
Tricia, welcome.
Thank you.
Justin Ryder.
Justin, good to see you. Okay, Pam, are you on? Pam Marshall's not on?
I believe Pam is running a little late. I messaged her and asked her was she coming. She said yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, she and I were on a marathon RVARC call this afternoon, and I'm not surprised she's running late. John, are you there? John Lanford? No. Okay. Anybody else on? Okay. Well, welcome everybody to the core meeting tonight. We have 2 items on the agenda. Ingrid Barber and Patricia have agreed to speak about the availability of mental health services in the Highlands for us. And then Lamona and Courtney have put together a report on the core survey, racial attitude survey that was done. So Ingrid and Patricia, would you be willing to go first?
Sure. Patricia, I'm just going to go ahead and get started by introducing who we are and what we do. My name is Ingrid Barber. I'm the Executive Director of the Alleghany Highlands Community Services Board. I've been the Executive Director for 12 years. And I have with me tonight our Clinical Director, Patricia Spengler, who actually runs our clinic operations, and that's all mental health and outpatient services and also substance use disorder services. And we're here tonight just to tell you a little bit about who we are, what we do, and how we can kind of serve the public, because there are a number of people in the community that get us confused with social services, DSS. And I get calls all the time about, are you DSS? We need help with light bills, gas bills, connection of services, how do I get Medicaid, those kinds of things. So we are a behavioral health authority. We're a division of the Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Services, which is the state entity, and we are an arm of local government. So we receive our funding from the localities, the state, and also federal monies, and also I write grants. I was historical in writing the grant for our local drug court here recently that just got up and starting. But we've been around since 1983, providing services in the community. We have developmental services, group homes, services for those individuals that have intellectual and developmental disabilities, brain injury, autism. We also provide waiver services. That's on the developmental side, and early intervention services for kids and toddlers 0 to 3. In addition to that, we provide mental health and substance use disorder services, and having a vast array of services that we have in our clinic operations that many of the people in the community are not aware of. For example, we have psych services for kids and adults, and in addition to that, we provide case management, group and individual therapy. We have transitional housing for individuals coming out of state hospitals. We have emergency services, crisis services, and then we do also same-day access. And then there's a vast array of substance abuse services that we also provide. So we're open in our clinic operations Monday through Friday from the hours of 8:30 to 5. And crisis services are available to those in the community 24/7, 365. After hours, we have an after hours number. And our website is www.hcsb.org. And you can get the crisis number off of the website if you ever have to access those services. We started something that the state has just implemented here within the last year, but our CSB was one of the first in the state. Back in 2013, we started what they call same-day access services because we got tired of people calling in and wanting an appointment and having to wait 3 or 4 weeks to get to be seen. So we have a walk-in service, which is same-day access. I'm going to let Patricia tell you a little bit about that process and what happens if you decide that you need to see someone and how we spearhead that in our clinic operations. Through the COVID-19 pandemic, we still have been available and open to the public. We understand that some people do not want to come in the clinic, so we're offering telehealth services. And we can set those up by appointment if individuals need to talk to someone, if they're experiencing depression, mental health, or anxiety type issues, we are available. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Patricia. She's the expert and she can tell you a little bit about clinic operations services.
Thank you, Ingrid. Great.
Thank you, Ingrid. So typically if somebody wants to get into services at Alleghany, there are mainly two channels that are used. The first one would be if there's a crisis or an emergency. We have the emergency services team, and a lot of times they work with the police to do the, if someone has an emergency custody order and they need to do the assessments, they would do those at the ER and also at our CIT center, which is open Monday through Friday from 11 to 11. And that also is a support for our police. We have what we call police escorted voluntaries. So if they're going to somebody's home or something's going on in the community and they want someone to be assessed or to just get a safety plan before they go home, they can be seen at the CIT center and either admitted or released home with a plan for follow-up. So that's one of, if there's a crisis, that's one of the routes that people get into services. Another way is through what Ingrid was talking about, the same-day access, and that is usually at our clinic, and it runs Monday through Friday from 11 to 3:30. Anybody in the community, whether people are going through just the ups and downs of life or someone has a mental health or substance use issue that they're experiencing, they can come into same-day access. And what it entails basically is the intake process. They are able to get together with a therapist who does a detailed assessment and looks at the medical necessity to see what services would best suit them to help them. And so then they are referred out to various services that we offer. And like Ingrid mentioned, we have a host of services that we offer for different ages. So we have both mental health and SUD services, and then we have adult and child services. When you look at the child services, we offer services in the schools, therapeutic day treatment. We offer case management services for children. We offer crisis services for the kids, including mobile crisis, so that there's a team that can go into people's homes and address any crisis that happen and look at resolving those. And we also offer psychiatric services for children, and we have a psychiatrist on staff that has worked in the past for over 30 years with children, so he's very skilled. We have services for adults. We have individual and group therapy, and we have a lot of group therapy, both mental health and SUD, covering things like healthy relationships, wellness and recovery, trauma for men, trauma for women, motivational enhancement therapy. You know, sometimes people want to make a change in life, but they're just not ready. And sometimes that is not a reason to stop. You can come in and start to work on things to get you ready to make some changes. So then in addition to that, we also offer SUD therapy, and with substance use therapy, we have both group, we have individual, and then we have different levels. So we have some that are IOP level, which is 3 hours, 3 times a week. And then we have a step down, and we also have one that's just an hour a week. So it depends on how intensive they will need the services to be based on the assessment that was completed. So we also have what we call the clubhouse, and that's for people that might be severely mentally ill, or someone that might just have trouble with independent life skills. They could get help from getting mental health skill building, or even the clubhouse, and they learn things like budgeting, just cooking, employment skills, just things that they need to get a leg up. So we have that. We do have case management for adults as well, to help them get set up with different things in the community and different resources. We do offer services in the jails for folks that are incarcerated. I think that is a good time for people to get some education on things that they can do differently, so that they're not waiting until they're out before they make those changes. And we also, last but not least, we offer medication-assisted treatment. We are still in an opioid pandemic. We still have an opioid epidemic, and a lot of times people need support with a psychiatrist who will offer, along with treatment, medications that can help. And we offer naltrexone for alcohol or opioids, and also we offer Suboxone. So, and that's all. If anyone has any questions, I'll be happy to answer those.
Joan, can you send us their website and contact information?
Absolutely, yeah. I took some pretty detailed notes, and website for sure. I think that'll fill it all in, but
Great.
it's great stuff. Boy, I learned so much. Anybody else have any questions?
Is there any sort of social media statement that we could maybe go together and make about what services are available? Could CORE and maybe you guys get together and make some statement?
So Courtney, we have a website, and we also have a Facebook page. We have an active Facebook page that we share lots of information on, pretty much on a daily basis.
Right.
But if you'd like to know more, our brochure is on our website, and it shows all the services that we have. If you'd like for us to do something with CORE, Jen, we can share that information with you if it's something that you want to advertise. But we're involved in the community in a number of ways. Okay. We're involved in the community in a number of ways. So it's not just in a clinic setting. We're also involved in other ways, working with stakeholders in the community. I'm sorry, Lamona.
I think her phone's breaking up pretty bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we had discussed, Lamona and I, about with Noah Green, with the issue that happened at the Capitol. We were talking about maybe making a statement with Alleghany CORE, or maybe making a statement of like, if somebody needs help, they can reach out, and this is where they can reach out to. I think that was kind of our idea of what we wanted to do.
So I think the best avenue would start, and Patricia may agree with me, with just letting the community know that we have intake services available through our same-day access, where you don't have to have an appointment. And if you need to see someone, we're available Monday through Friday, and our intake process starts at 11:30. Patricia?
11 a.m. for the intake until 3:30.
Okay, until 3:30. Mm-hmm. So that's any day, anybody can walk in from off the street. Now they may have to, it just depends. Intake day Some days we have 1 to 2 people, and some days we may have 7 to 10 people. It just depends.
And they do online during that time too?
Yes, they do telehealth as well for the same day access. And on days that we're closed, and if someone has a crisis, there is a crisis number that they can call. And we also have a prevention team that does a lot of outreach for different events. So we'd be very happy to.
Prior to the
provide
pandemic,
services.
we were very instrumental in providing what they call mental health first aid just to the community so they can learn more about mental health, the diagnoses, what to look for triggers and those kinds of things. And of course, due to the pandemic, we hadn't been able to offer that. But it was really good as far as education. For someone in the community, if you weren't for sure, what are the signs and symptoms? What is it that we need to look at if someone is experiencing some depression or if they have some areas of concern? And it's just like CPR, where you have the normal CPR for someone that starts breathing. This is a mental health first aid. It just tells you, what do you look for when, you think that somebody may be experiencing a mental health issue. And we'd like to get those started and up and running, and we've had some requests from different stakeholders in the community. I think we're going to set one up with Longevity coming up here very soon. They want some of the training.
That's great. So you're going to be working with different companies and industries to do that kind of information stuff. You guys amaze me what you have available.
Are you available to come into churches?
We can set something up. If you want to get in contact with either Patricia or I, we can look and see what the schedule would be like if it's about coming into the church and speak. We're normally not there on the weekends, but I have done some weekend presentations if someone wants to learn more about the agency and the services that we provide.
About 3 times a year, I do some sort of a sermon series on mental health, especially during COVID. It's been very needed, and it would be great to have someone like you folks come in.
That's a great idea.